Three, two, one, ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 321 Ghost. I'm your host with the silent G, Kyle, and as always, joined by my pal, Natalie. Hey, Natalie. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I am doing great. I'm just beaming from ear to ear,
We're gonna
you
be
know,
smiling the whole time.
this whole time in just the creepiest, most off-putting way possible. And that's because today we're talking about 2022's Parker Finn directed film, Smile. He also wrote this, Singular Vision. Gotta love that. And this was also based off a short film called Laura Hasn't Slept that he made as well.
Oh, I
Have,
didn't know
have you?
that.
Okay, okay. Then my next
Yeah.
question was going to be if you've seen it or not.
No.
It stars Caitlin Stasey, who, funny enough, is the PhD student Laura at the beginning of Smile. So it kind of, my guess is that I
Oh,
don't know if it's a
like a
full just kind of
prequel?
like remake or just like a direct sequel,
Hmm.
right? Because
Yeah.
Laura would be showing up at the very end doing her whole
Mm-hmm.
shit, right? But I don't know. So this movie, starring Sosie Bacon. Does that last name sound familiar? Of course it
Oh,
does.
yeah.
She's
Industry
the daughter,
legend Kevin
daughter of
Bacon.
industry legend. So she's got industry legend in her blood.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to do a few more before we can
Oh,
bestow an award to her.
yeah.
Um,
A lot more. I don't think she has any other horror.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, daughter of Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple parts and one specific part in the movie where I think it's when she's smiling, where I was like, "Oh, she does look like Kevin Bacon. I can see it."
I think she looks equally like both of them, honestly.
Yeah. That doesn't
Yeah.
happen often where you just like literally
No.
have that like absolute middle. It's like spoiler alert everybody, but you know that movie Together with Allison Brie and Dave
Oh, don't
Franco?
spoil it. I haven't seen it.
Okay, so then a young Kevin Bacon plus young Kira Sedgwick could equal Sosie Bacon.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So nah, don't even worry about it. Um, gosh, I saw this movie in theaters when it came out. How about you? Did you see it when it came out in theaters?
I don't think that I did see this in theaters. I think I watched this streaming.
Hmm. I liked it at the time. I think I liked it a little better in this second watch for this recording.
Yeah, okay, I definitely watched it streaming because I remember people were already freaking out about it. So bad start for Natalie. As we all know, the hype really ruins things for me, but I watched it by myself. So what I knew at the time was that the scares worked for me and were very effective. But I didn't love the movie when I watched it the first time. So that was like maybe a month after it was out of theaters. And then this couple watches that I did for this episode, I did enjoy it a lot more. And I don't know if that's because I knew what it was building to for a sequel or if I just actually was just watching it with a different lens.
Funny you mentioned the sequel. You know, we're going to talk about this movie and judge it on its own merits, of course, but very much like Orphan, and I think we even
Mhm.
mentioned Smile in our
We
Orphan
did.
episodes, is we did Orphan because we really wanted to get to Orphan First Kill because it's so fucking good. And I had a
Mhm.
feeling when you suggested this movie, I was like, I'll do it. Sounds great. Um, but are we really doing this so we can get to Smile too?
And I said, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. Um,
We
that
won't spile. We won't spile. We won't smile. We won't
uh,
spoil Smile 2. Kyle is going to not spoil anything from Smile 2,
not gonna happen.
but you all can watch it.
Yeah. This movie also stars Jesse T. Usher, Cal Penn. I forgot he was in this movie. He just randomly just pops up in things, but always kind of appreciated.
Yeah, it's interesting because I don't feel like I see him. I can't think of anything that I've seen him in other than like in his younger days, he was heavier into comedy. So seeing him in this very serious role is, I don't know, it feels off-putting to me still.
speaking of also industry legends,
Mm.
uh, love just what a lovely career Kyle Gallner has put together. You know,
Ah,
even things that aren't good, he elevates them quite a bit.
absolutely. Industry legend Kyle Gallner.
And he's great in this movie. He's just, he's just this kind of sad, kind of put upon, like, ah shucks, I'll help you kind of type, you know.
Hmm.
But always love him. This movie didn't really win a lot of awards. Now, let me see. I was looking to the MTV Movie and TV Awards. I think they've combined those now. She was nominated for Best Frightened Performance, but lost
Hmm.
to Jennifer Coolidge in The White Lotus. I think they were just trying to give White Lotus whatever they could at the time in 2022.
It's possible.
Yeah, because it must have been that first season, right?
Hmm.
Um, Also it was nominated for Best Horror Film in the like horror and science fiction awards. It didn't win. It lost to Talk to Me, which
Um,
is fine. I liked Talk to Me. Bring Her Back's way better. Go see that if you haven't yet, anybody.
because it's the same people
Yeah,
that made
yeah.
that film. Yeah, I would say this is a better movie than Talk to Me, and maybe we'll get there.
And the other nominated movies that year were Evil Dead Rise and Barbarian, which I say would both
Oh,
be better.
I agree. Both better than the other two.
Yeah, 100%.
Hmm.
So, gosh, you know what I remember most about this first movie is the marketing campaign, which means it did a good job, right?
Hmm.
Specifically, this movie came out in October a few years ago, which is right in line with the MLB playoffs. So
Hmm.
I was watching the playoffs for baseball, and I think this is even before I found out what exactly it was. But, like when you're
Oh, you saw it
watching,
live?
yeah, someone just sitting behind home plate in the stands, sitting there with a smile on their face, staring dead center, right? If if I was like literally like MOB like has to like, you know, legislate like what color like batting gloves you can wear, what color the batter's eye is, behind center field, all the things. I've If I were a pitcher pitching in the fucking playoffs, right? I'd be like, we need to get this fucker the fuck up and out of here because I
Yeah,
cannot.
so that would be so distracting.
It'd be so distracting. Like I'm all about banning the wave in stadiums because I feel like that's way too distracting and dizzying, to be honest, if I were on the field.
And I don't want to
But
be a part of it.
and I don't want to be a part of it. I appreciate you. I didn't get your input before bringing that up, but I appreciate that we're both very anti-wave.
Yes, we're
Yeah.
both anti-wave.
Yeah, don't do it. Come on, y'all. You look like fools. But yeah, so I was just watching on TV and being like, what the fuck is this? What is this person doing? Is it just some asshole just being an asshole because they know they're on TV and being filmed right now? Because you can't, if you're sitting in the seats, you can't escape it, right? Um, but yeah, geez, no, thank you. I think it was like an A's game or something. And so there were a couple different games where they placed
Mhm.
these actors in, not the actors from the movie, but just random
Yeah.
actors being like, hey, we just want to pay you to fucking sit behind home plate for a playoff game and just fucking smile like a fucking creep the whole time. Can you do it? And they
I
found people that
had
could do it.
I had read about it or like online or something, and I was like, oh, that's a really cool marketing campaign. But it made me wonder, like, did they run this by someone or did they just buy a ticket and just sit there? Like, you can't kick someone out for smiling, right?
Well, well, exactly. That's why, like,
Yeah.
yeah, part of their campaign was like, I don't think they like told, you know, like the A's or whoever they were playing that they were going to do this.
Yeah, that's
You just buy a ticket and like honestly, if you're thinking about marketing, right? What a commercial spot during the playoffs costs X amount, right? Or
Yeah.
to put your like banner, on the inside of,
Hmm.
the stands or whatever cost X amount. Now tickets behind home plate for a game certainly cost a lot too.
Not
You know,
like an ad spot.
exactly. That's why I'm like, ultimately, it's the cheaper thing to do is to spend a few grand if
Mm-hmm.
that's how much it costs for like a seat that good during the playoffs, and you're still just like, oh, fuck, this is actually a pretty cheap way to market this movie, and
It's more
it fucking
fun.
and it weirds people out, and then you have like
Mm-hmm.
people sharing on social media, like, what the fuck is this person? What the fuck are they doing? You know, I don't know. So I
It's
remember
fun.
that.
I appreciate a good marketing campaign, and I think this movie is good enough that if I had seen that and then immediately watched the movie because of the marketing campaign, I wouldn't have been disappointed. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like, because there have been movies like The Nun, I'm thinking of specifically, where like they did a really fun, like in LA, they had nuns fucking with covers over their faces, just like standing in the streets and, doing all these like floating nun things, like crazy shit. And I was
As
like,
they do.
damn, I was like, this movie's gonna be real fun. And then I watched it, and I was like, this movie is not fun at all. I don't think we'll ever cover it, but it's not a good one. So, but it had a great marketing campaign though.
I don't even know if I remember the Nun. I kind of remember the second one, and then wondering why am I watching the second one? I don't even remember the first one.
I think we watched the first one together for a movie night and were not impressed. And I have not seen the second one, which I've heard is better than the first one, but I still hated the first one so much that I won't follow up.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, when we, if and when, probably inevitably, we talk about Conjuring movies, how much we want to splinter off into the Annabelles and the Nuns of it all.
Oof. Well,
Hmm.
that'll be a discussion for another time.
Yeah. At least this one, we're pretty set. We've got this one, and we've got a second one we'll inevitably talk about. But
I actually, when I chose this movie,
mhm,
by the way, just so that we could talk about Smile 2 eventually. But I also didn't realize that it had an October release date, which I think is fun because it's October now.
yeah, happy October, by the way.
Yeah, happy October. Best month of the year.
I feel like if you're releasing a horror movie in October,
It's a bold move. Your
it's a
movie
bold
better be
move.
good.
Yeah, because you get so much happening in October that, like it's hard to get like a good like standout. And but for
Mm-hmm.
the longest time though, like remember like every October it was always, well, there was a while where it was a Saw movie every single October,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, oh, fucking hate Saw. But spoiler alert. And then for like 5 years it was a Paranormal Activity every October.
Mm-hmm.
And those just always held all of that. I feel like it's a little more open now in
Mm-hmm.
Octobers, in terms of, competition. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I think this movie did well enough and,
Yeah.
made quite a bit of money,
Yeah.
given that didn't have the biggest budget behind it. And, certainly when you have like an original IP, sometimes it's a little bit of an uphill challenge, right?
This movie had a $17 million budget, and we'll go US and Canada. Made 105.9 million.
That's good.
So they did real well. So they got that theatrical sequel because of that. And I will say, one thing that I really appreciate about this movie that I think is important to point out is all of the smiling is not enhanced in any way. It is all of the actors' real smiles. They do that. I don't like that. Kyle's smiling now. I don't like it.
I feel like I can't do like an ear to ear, like
I wouldn't it hurt your face? Oh, you can't. God, just
I'm trying it
because y'all
out.
can't see, Kyle's face is so friendly that even him trying to do a creepy smile, he looks like just like a happy guy. I think my smile can go pretty far.
Yeah, you've got a creepier one, 100%.
That's as far as I can make it go. Like that was hurting
Yeah.
my face.
Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah.
This is an audio only podcast. This is helping nobody. But yeah, gosh, I'm ready to hop into this movie. How about you?
Yep. Let's do it.
So first off, we introduce ourselves to Rose, who's our main protagonist here, played by Sosie Bacon. Um, we meet her in a dream flashback situation. We don't exactly know what's going on yet, but you got her mom, who seems to not be doing super great, moaning and yelling some shit. And
Understatement.
understatement, yeah. And you've got what's her name? I just forgot it. Rose. That's
Roast.
it. Yeah. It'll be a long one, folks. Um, is standing out in the hallway. Who knows what's going on right now? We're gonna find out
Mhm.
later. So we learned that she is a therapist working at a hospital. And already, just knowing where this is going, I'm like, poor therapists and social workers and fucking, people working for like child resource centers and such and
Mhm.
organizations. Because you're like, oh, God, first of all, you just already have to carry a lot of like heavy, dark shit sometimes,
Yeah.
you know?
And she's in
Um,
like an emergency psychiatric unit, not just like a psychiatric hospital.
yeah, exactly. So she is seeing people that are like really struggling or,
Mhm.
maybe coming in at like the height of like a crisis or something.
Mhm.
It's,
Maybe
I'm
they
just like,
haven't had help or haven't don't have any record to reference.
so I'm like, she's just doing her best,
Mhm.
So already I'm like, oh, this poor woman,
Yeah.
none of this is gonna go
She's
well.
a workaholic.
I know there was a point where like, Cal Penn, who plays his boss, sorry, is like, you need to take a break. You're already working 80-hour weeks and this and this and this. And I'm like, bro, how long have you been letting her just work 80-hour weeks?
Yeah.
You're her fucking boss, dude. You have some authority, or are
Yeah.
you just looking the other way?
She's been working doubles every day. I
Yeah.
think my assessment of the situation would be he is fine with his doctors working doubles every single day until he feels like maybe their performance is lacking or they're starting to look stressed and he's like, "All right, you need to take a couple days off." Like, so I think he's okay with spreading them thin, but if they get spread too thin, then he's like, "Okay, well, maybe we'll have somebody else work the doubles." So, because he made a comment about their mental health being important as well. But I think something that I've learned about doctors from knowing them and my mom working with them is that they're actually really fucking stressed and like their mental health is not great all the time.
And then it's one of those things where like, the boss is just like, well, we care about your mental health too. Because
Hmm.
that's the whole thing, right? Like I studied social work. I'm a social worker.
Hmm.
The whole metaphor is like, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Hmm.
And but then sometimes I feel like even as, self-care and all that's been co-opted by all sorts of industries,
Hmm.
it's all just fucking lip service
Oh
sometimes. They all
yeah.
just say that to be like, oh, well, just take care of yourself,
On your own time
go
though.
on your own time. Yeah, yeah. Or
Hmm.
like, oh yeah, just go, maybe flex from some other, with no concrete plan of where you're flexing from.
Hmm. Very
But then
vague.
and then like, oh, okay, well, where am I going to flex my
Hmm.
hours from? How's that
It
really going to
it
fucking
never
happen?
comes.
It never comes, right? So, and then when you take a break, gosh, sorry. I feel like I'm talking to a
Kyle's gonna
therapist now.
trauma dump on us.
Yeah. It's like it's when your employer, I love my current employer, by the way, but when I see this so often with like social workers, therapists, first responders, all the things, is that yeah, I mean, if you don't, it's all your your work culture and your work environment. Like if there is not like a way to like set up like in very intentional way for you to take time off and it to not impact
Hmm.
the world, everything else around you while you're gone, then like it's all lip service when they say that shit.
Hmm.
So Cal Penn, I saw that coming from a mile away, bro.
Yeah.
It like literally after like it even after someone just slit their fucking throat in front of her, right? He he has no problem with her coming back to work the next day.
I know
It's
that.
not until like there's liability on his
Uh-huh.
end
Well,
is when
and
he's like,
that's,
"Oh, you need to take some time off."
I think that is a perfect example of when all of a sudden your mental health and your needs then are relevant is if it starts to affect liability or your job performance. Or,
Bottom
there are
line.
places, I've worked at places that, they see how much PTO you have. And there's, rules in certain places where you work where they have to pay out your PTO if you don't take it by a certain time of the year. So then they'll say, okay, everybody, it's vacation time. Like, get on it. Like, you need to take vacations because they don't want to pay it out and pay you to work. So then all of a
Right.
sudden we're encouraging time off. So I think that's very telling. And she also has a very clear moment where she's expressing, she doesn't give a shit if they're paying for people who don't have insurance to get care that need it, because she's like, this is important. These people need help. Like, let's do that because that's what our jobs are, so she's operating on a different level. And so she's the perfect candidate to work way too much and overwork herself because she wants to do good. She wants to help people and she's willing to sacrifice her own time and needs for it.
So she is bearing the brunt of a frankly broken
Mm-hmm.
medical healthcare system,
Yes.
right? So, yeah, I again, and I know sometimes I'm just that person each time, but like I'm watching this movie, I'm like, man, universal healthcare probably wouldn't have solved like this whole demon situation happening. But, however, I still think
Could
it
have helped
would
some of it.
it helps some of it. Like maybe she'd be able to take a vacation and wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
be around, and somebody else may have gotten the whole smile demon situation thing going on. But
Mm-hmm.
nope. So here we are, and this woman named Laura comes, and she is allegedly not doing so great. She just came from, she's a little stressed, right? I guess she
Real jumpy.
saw someone just kill themselves with a hammer.
Mm.
Mm. And she goes and meets Rose. Rose is asking some basic questions. Um, Laura's just like, I'm not crazy. I know what you're trying to get at. I'm not fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny 'cause she was like, I'm not crazy. I'm a PhD student, which I'm
Doesn't mean
like,
you're not crazy, girl.
yeah, I was like, we're both married to PhD students and
Uh-huh.
mental health shit, that's real.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. There's another environment that doesn't give a shit about your mental health.
100%. So she's like, hey, all I know is something's following me. I don't know what it is. It looks like everybody. It could be my dead grandfather. It can be, you know,
And
my
she's very
neighbor.
explicit. She says, my dead grandfather that I saw die. She watched him die. So past
Oh, okay.
trauma,
Right, right, right.
important. Hmm.
Um, to which I'm like, she's just explaining it follows. That's happened
I
already. I
know.
know.
She's very clear in how she explains it actually, which I really appreciate
Yeah.
because and I think that's the PhD student in her coming out because she
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 needs to cite her
does
sources.
yeah, she does a good job of explaining the situation even though she was too jumpy to even sit down a minute ago. So I appreciate the clarity in her explanation, but Rose with no context is not going to understand what she's trying to communicate. So and I don't think Laura did as much research, which is kind of funny because she is a PhD candidate. It seems like she didn't do as much research as Rose later does, but I appreciate her laying the groundwork for us. And yes, it does remind me of It Follows. Absolutely.
One one key detail she mentions is that whatever it is, whoever it looks like, just fucking smiles at her.
Gross.
Just a creepy fucking ear to ear fucking grin. See, I feel like I am so if someone smiles at me for long enough time, I'm like, the fuck are you looking at me for? What? What's going on? Like I get
It
very
can feel
defensive.
threatening.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, especially as a woman, if someone's smiling at you for a long time, a
mm,
smile can feel very threatening. Like I think people underestimate the power of smiles.
100%. And maybe that's, hey, seems like Finn Parker didn't, right? Or Parker Finn.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe he has a really
um,
creepy smile and he was like, I think I can workshop this a little bit.
yeah. So, Rose isn't really buying it. It's like, well, I'm not going to outwardly say I don't believe you because that's, let's not escalate things, but let's keep let's keep going down this schizophrenia path and just
Yeah.
explore this a little bit. Um, Laura isn't having it and just starts flipping out.
Yeah.
Um, Starts screaming. She falls to the ground. She is pointing like something's like right fucking behind Rose and
Hmm.
coming for her. Rose is like, okay, here's probably a good time to call for some backup. She
Hmm.
goes, calls for some backup, turns around. Fucking Laura's gone quiet. Natalie
Oof.
is just standing there with a fucking smile, ear to
Hmm.
ear.
Important to note that Laura was not smiling this entire time.
No, she had nothing to smile about as far as we
Mm-mm.
knew, but now all of a sudden she's all about it. And I forget she grabs like a piece of glass or something.
When she like thrusts herself down, she's screaming. She knocks over the vase with the flowers, and so she grabs a
Mm,
shard of glass from that, which that's porcelain. Like it can
oof.
be sharp, but like you gotta put a lot of weight into porcelain versus glass, I think, to slice through like that thick skin. Ooh.
Ugh, yeah, she just goes and fucking slits her throat right open, and she's dead.
Hmm.
Um, then we got the
Smiling the
title.
whole
Yeah,
time.
smiling the whole. Yeah, never breaking smile or eye contact.
But can we also acknowledge this is, again, an emergency psychiatric unit? It took those motherfuckers so long. Were they walking down the hallway? The first time I watched it, I didn't really take note of that. And then the second time, I was like, damn, they're still not there. Like, it felt like an eternity
I think the
that,
labor shortage affects all industries, Natalie. Maybe they were like, we are handling some other fucking smiling dude stabbing someone over here. We'll get there when we get there.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, it took a long time, but I think this piece of the movie is really fun because you get to see Laura's body laying there with a giant smile. Like her face is like frozen, so it didn't lose, the expression when she died, which I think normally your face would relax, but I love the shot of her laying on the ground bleeding out just with that huge smile on her face just staring directly at Rose. I think that's super fun. It's a good shot.
Yeah. And then we get the title card. Smile, 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 smile.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Kind of weird, kind of fun.
So obviously, it's a pretty fucked up situation. The police arrive, and so she is getting interviewed by them. Um, One of the officers, we learn, she has a little bit of a past relationship with. It's
Hmm.
her ex-husband, ex-boyfriend,
I
Joel.
would say ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, played by Kyle
Yeah.
Gallner.
Hmm. May I say something about Kyle Gallner?
Yeah, sure.
Um, this actually was the first movie that I realized that I'm absolutely obsessed with him. I like have always enjoyed his acting, but in this movie specifically, I was like, "Oh, did did we grow up a little bit? Because he's looking real good. He's got that little goatee action. I am a 90s boy band girl, so I do love a goatee
Yeah.
and I love it. I love it. So I just wanted to make sure everyone knew that this is a Kyle Gallner fan podcast.
Yeah. Um, I thought it was kind of silly. There's like while she's like explaining what happened, there's a shot of Lara's body covered up, like down in like the morgue or
Oh yeah.
whatever, with the blood that like just makes the smile shape, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I thought that
Oh
was pretty
yeah.
silly.
It is silly. And like I feel like that happens at least one more time in this movie. Maybe I'm making that up. But I do think it's a fun shot. And this movie does have a lot of really cool shots of like upside down trees and things like that. I think visually it's a really enjoyable movie.
Who doesn't love an upside down tree? Where do the
I
roots
love an
go?
upside down
The
tree.
sky?
They do a similar shot in Midsummer
Yeah,
when they're driving.
that's a good one.
Hmm.
So, um, geez, she goes home, washes the day off as we and starts drinking as we
Oh
all
yeah.
would, probably, right?
Yeah.
Um, she starts seeing shit the first night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So she'll see, Laura like standing like in the kitchen, like in a reflection. Um, she's just already feeling this. And we get
Hmm.
introduced to her fiance, Trevor.
Ugh.
Yeah, he seems like he's supportive at first, a little bit.
He's generically supportive. When things are
Yeah.
easy, he's supportive.
Oh, which is kind of, doesn't she
Hmm.
say something to that extent later on? It's like, oh, it's
Yeah.
easy for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Because he says the right things. He's like, what can I do? Instead of trying to tell her what to do. Like he asks how he can help. So I do like that. But you know what? That's this first scene of her drinking the wine and seeing Laura in the corner, like
mhm,
just barely. I think that's the scariest shit. I think that is the scariest part of the movie. I don't know what it is about that actress. She's so good at that smile.
yeah,
And that, like, it's so hard to see her, but at the same time, you know exactly what you're looking at because you saw it not that long ago in perfect lighting. So, or fluorescent hospital lighting. So I really love that shot, and it scared the shit out of me the first time I watched this movie.
yeah. So Trevor is, yeah, again, like you said, I think it's a good way to put it, generically supportive, kind of.
Hmm.
You know who absolutely is not is Rose's sister and brother-in-law,
Oh.
who are like just the most, just yeah, just that very like wealthy, entitled, just
Hmm.
kind of pieces of shit, only care about themselves kind of
Hmm.
thing.
Like
Um,
suburbs incarnate.
yeah, yeah. So, so honestly, I feel bad because like really the actually only supportive person in this movie is probably Joel.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it doesn't seem to help because I mean, it's already affecting her. She's zoning out, she's losing track of things. Um, like I said earlier, I don't know why she's back at work the next day. Like,
I
I
would have been like, I
would,
need to take the week off already. Monsters or not.
and again, ultimately, that's on Calpen because
Hmm.
I have managed people in a social services setting where
Hmm.
there's some traumatic shit that can happen, and people will not take time off if you just say, like, oh, take time off whenever you want, or you don't
Yeah,
even bring
no.
it up.
You got to
You
force it.
know, I need to be like, hey, y'all, we have, you know, some traumatic leave pay. Let's go ahead and use this. Just take the day off. I'll watch the desks. I'll do this and this
Hmm.
and this. Now, granted, the challenge is then like, no one's stepping in for me, so I gotta,
Hmm.
figure that out a different way. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. So she's back at work. Joel arrives and wants to follow up just to check on her a little bit. I'm sure
Hmm.
he's probably like, what the
Love that.
fuck is she doing here? Like, why is she back here?
I mean, he obviously knows her well because he could have gone to her place, but instead he went to her workplace. Like, he
Mm,
knew that bitch wasn't going to stay home. Like, I think that was a very clever way of telling the audience how well Joel knows her.
yeah. He wants to check in, learn a little bit more, like, how she's doing, what the fuck's going on. She's like, I'm good. You can go though. See you later.
Mhm.
I like how that nurse shoots her
I
shot though, and
love her.
she's like, she's engaged, right? But I'm not. What's up?
I I love that nurse. I feel like
Yeah.
I would do the same. I'm single though, you know.
Yeah. 100%. Um, but yeah, geez. So she's at work. She's seeing Laura like out of her window in her office.
Mhm.
She's hallucinating other patients, like
Oof.
smiling and yelling at her, just generally just not doing
Yeah.
okay at all.
Yeah. Poor Carl.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Yeah, she starts screaming and flipping out over one of the patients named Carl, who's like smiling and like taunting her and shit. But this is all in her head, right? I just
Yeah.
felt bad for Carl because, yeah, she calls
I
in all the people that like
know.
wrestle him down, but he's just so this is traumatic for him. And maybe it's,
Yeah. I think the most important thing about what happens with Carl is that it shows the power of the hallucinations too. Like that felt
yeah.
very real to her. That was a solid minute that she just completely made up in her head. So I think that also is really important. I just feel bad for Carl this whole
Well,
movie.
because now he's traumatized.
I
Poor
know.
guy.
He already seems traumatized.
Yeah. So this is when Cal Penn's like, okay, maybe I'll let you have a week. Take a week off.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go home and drink then, which she does.
Yeah.
Um, I bring this up because it'll come up later. Her sister and her brother-in-law, they have a child. It's her nephew,
Mhm.
if you're all keeping track. Um, it's his birthday coming up that weekend, and she wasn't gonna go because she works Saturdays, and she was like, "Who the fuck works
Mhm.
Saturdays?" And she's like, "I do, 80 hours a week. How else are you supposed to fit it in?"
Mhm.
But now she's free, so
Yeah,
she picks up
go
a yeah.
figure.
There you go. So she picks up a toy, wraps it, or brings it home to wrap it. I mean, then again, night two, you're still getting some spooky stuff. This was, and again, just kind of fucking with her. It's, you got the alarm system that goes off,
Mhm.
getting that call saying, like,
Ah.
hi, this is the alarm company, this and this and this and this.
Mhm.
Then they start saying spooky shit to her. She
Mhm.
comes to and then gets another call from them
Yeah.
again, right? It's
I,
it's effect it's effective.
I think the thing that I struggle with this movie, and the first watch I felt this more than these follow-up watches because I knew what was coming, is the scares are really fun and effective. Like the alarm company call and that whole situation is really spooky. It's everything in between and like the length of everything in between the scares, because there's a lot that happens to Rose in this course of these, 7 days, which is nearly 2 hours. But the downtime is a little bit much. So I think we both agreed that this movie could have been maybe like 10 minutes shorter. But the scares they're really fun.
Am I an asshole to think like honestly, everything in that movie outside of Mustache the cat,
Oh, mustache.
it's all pretty manageable stuff. Like, you see a couple things, you get a couple phone calls. Yeah, some people walk up and give you some spooky faces and smiles, but ultimately I'm like,
Okay, but like if I was in front of you sitting having a conversation with you and, we had been talking for 20 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden you got a phone call from me with me sitting right in front of you, wouldn't you be fucking freaked out?
no, because I would look at you and be like, "Oh, okay, you're the fucking demon. Fuck off. What are you gonna do? You know,
You'd be like, wait, is the demon on the
ah,
phone or in front of me? Which one is
which,
it was like,
yeah,
hold
something
please.
like,
Are
I'm
you
done
the
with,
real
but
one?
I'm done with both of you. I'm just gonna get up and leave." So, generally though, spooky escalations going on.
Hmm.
I mentioned Mustache the cat. You see a cat, you don't get enough with Mustache,
You don't.
really.
And why is this cat named Mustache? I thought he would have like a darker color on his top lip or something that looked like he had a mustache, but he
Just a
doesn't,
cute,
just
just
for
a
the
cute
record.
name.
It is a cute name.
Yeah. Trevor comes home. They can't find Mustache.
Mm.
This is the last we're gonna see Mustache alive.
God
That's
damn it.
the that's the shitty part, This it's always like the first act animal death, like just to
I mean, we don't
say
know
like
that. Cats do be disappearing when people don't leave their doors closed. So there's that.
also, like I probably brought up in Pet Cemetery, this is what happens when you don't fucking keep your cats indoors. Sorry, outdoor
Hmm.
cats are just
Yeah, I'm assuming Mustache is an indoor outdoor cat because she wouldn't be like, have you seen him? Because you'd know he was somewhere in the house.
exactly. So don't
Hmm.
have an outdoor cat. Sorry. So she can't sleep. And she's like, I just, can't stop thinking about this whole interaction with Laura and starts listening to tapes of that
Hmm.
day, of her interview with her. And things maybe starting to think, maybe Laura's onto something here because what she's saying doesn't sound so crazy anymore, especially now that she's experiencing it.
Hmm.
Um, Speaking of people who aren't helpful in her life, she goes and sees her therapist,
Yeah,
who,
Dr.
yeah,
Northcott.
yeah, and first thing she just keeps bringing up her fucking mother. I'm like, stop making everything about my mom.
Yeah, like,
Like, we're gonna learn that something happened between Rose and her mother earlier,
mhm.
and her mother's dead, by the way. But I'm like, this is a separate thing. Why do we have to tie this back to this? I saw a woman slit her fucking throat. She was smiling the whole fucking time. She's telling me fucking
Mhm.
demons are following her. I don't know. Now shit's following me. Why is this about my mother?
Yeah, I would straight up say, so are you telling me that if I didn't find my dead mother in a room, that I would be totally fine with this woman slitting her fucking throat in front of me? Is that what you're saying? It's just my past trauma that is making me freaked out by this situation? Like her, yeah, her therapist. Imagine being a therapist and going to a therapist.
It reminded me of what's that one with Mila Jovovich, the alien one that we watched?
Oh, the fourth kind.
Yeah, when she goes and
Hmm.
like when she goes and talks to like her therapist,
Yeah,
just like it's therapists for therapists, I
I
just
would
don't
not
seem to
want to
be
have that
helpful in
job.
movies.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to have that job either. Like even she says like let's not self-diagnose to Rose when Rose is trying to figure out what's happening, but I'm like honestly, I think that's a really healthy way to deal with what's going on. Like if you can say to yourself, "Okay, I'm experiencing this because of this and this." It
Yeah.
I mean, that would be great to be able to do in theory.
So Rose is asking for some meds, and the
I love
therapist
that.
is like, "Yeah, we're gonna wait a little bit before I
Yeah.
write that script for you, but you know." Go home and take some Tylenol. Tell me what I don't think she even says that, but go ahead and take some Tylenol. Not if you're pregnant, but
Yeah.
it's, but if you, and we'll just see, we'll feel it out from here and see
Yeah,
how it
she's like
goes.
go
Maybe,
paint a picture or something.
yeah. So let's see. So next, she's not working anymore, so she's available for her nephew's birthday party.
Mm.
Um, so good news is we found Mustache. Bad news is, when this nephew, dumb little kids,
Oh my
opening up
gosh.
this present, he straight up like I would have found out very quick. There's a dead animal in this
I would
box.
just close that box right back up.
He like picks up the whole cat and just holds it up for like everyone to see. Like,
I think he's trying to like process like, is this real? Like,
yeah,
I have, I think that this scene is probably the best part of this movie because this is where Rose really loses her shit. And there's so many questions that I have because we never find out what actually happened to Mustache. Like if she did that or if the smile demon did that. I'm assuming she did
yeah.
and
And so,
hallucinated that she was doing something else. But either way, her reaction is pretty accurate. If that happened to me and my cat was dead in that box, I would have reacted even worse than Rose did.
it's always fun to terrify children. So
Yeah.
the scene's great.
Everyone's screaming.
Um, I guess I would be I maybe alone in this, but if I was at that party, I wouldn't immediately jump to think that she killed her cat, put it in a
Yeah.
box, and gave it to this child, because that would be pretty new. That'd be different, you know? I feel like
Yeah, that's
I
very
would be the one
presumptuous.
person to come to her side and be like, "Hey, okay, what the fuck happened?" Are because you seem very upset. You seem the most upset by this, to be honest.
Hmm.
So clearly I'm led to believe that maybe you didn't kill this cat, but
Yeah.
somebody did this. So let me
Is it,
help you.
yeah, like is there anybody who has been threatening you? Is there anybody who's been following you? Like I would start asking those questions because it see, it does seem unlikely that this woman would kill her own cat and package it up for her nephew rather than someone else doing that to her. And this is another side note, though. The sister and the brother-in-law both make very like rude comments regarding mental health. You know, they use very specific words of like, even and the detectives head case, they say crazy a lot. You know, they say a lot of words that aren't professional words to use in regards to mental health, which I think honestly most people do, but they're doing it in such a way that is very insulting to her career and her patients. And her, so her sister, was already, I think, just going to assume the worst. But wouldn't you like kind of wonder, like, hey, do you have any patients that maybe don't like you for some reason? Like maybe you've like committed them, like, and they got out recently. Like, not saying that people with mental health issues would, you know, all of them would do something like this, but I would wonder that too with her being a doctor. So, yeah, very presumptuous that Rose would have done this herself.
She does have a spurned ex-boyfriend. Be like, how dare you? Do not ever say Kyle Gallner could do such a
It had
thing.
nothing to do with the smile demon. It was just Joel.
Yeah. So Trevor picks her up and takes her home. And she gives him the old I need to tell you something, but I promise I'm not crazy. That's always famously the first thing
Hmm.
someone tells you when they're about to say something really crazy.
Yeah.
So some evil spirit is coming after me. I don't know what this is. I'm trying to figure this out. I think this is a safe space. Trevor's kind of immediately kind of a dick, to be
Yeah.
honest about it. Like, I would think if anybody, I don't know. Again, if I was like, oh, I had to go to my sister-in-law's to pick up my wife because she put our pet, or maybe allegedly somehow a dead pet got inside one of the boxes. I guess I would still be supportive. I'd be like, hey,
I
babe,
need to learn more. We need to investigate this.
okay. And then especially, I think us, I think if our spouses told us, I think a demon's following me. I think we would be more susceptible to be like, okay, tell me more. What's going on? Let me get some
Well,
popcorn. Let me make a snack. Tell me about it.
which is interesting because this is super random. My husband, before we started recording, unprovoked, asked me, "What would you do if I like sat you down and told you that there was like a demon having conversations with me and like telling me to do things?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "Would you believe me?" And I was like, "Is that happening?" He's like, "No, I was just wondering because, like you like spooky things." And I was like, "I mean, I think I wouldn't not believe him, but I also would just be concerned for his mental health. Like whether it's true or not, I'd be like, am I in danger here? Would be my first thought. Whether it's a demon or it's just declining mental health, I'd be like, I'm probably gonna figure out how to keep myself safe from you, was my answer. So I would be supportive, but I would also be very cautious. Now, I think with Trevor and Rose, Rose is a pretty tiny, petite woman, and Trevor, like, he's a athletic looking guy. Like he looks young, fit. Like he could probably take her, demon possession or not. So, I'm I think he could have been more supportive in the way that maybe he even was like, maybe you think you're experiencing these things, but maybe we should consider some other options other than demons, you know?
Or at least, like we can keep demons as an option, sure. Just
Yeah. What are some
let's,
other options?
yeah.
Mhm.
Now one option that I feel still isn't fair, just like her fucking therapist. Trevor's like, it's probably because of your mom, and
Oof.
your mom had mental health issues, so therefore that's genetic, and you're gonna get it too. And
Yeah, he said he was like Googling things.
yeah, to like know what he was getting himself into or some shit. And you're
Yeah.
like, fuck off, dude. You're a dick.
And also, Trevor, you're like clearly you weren't that committed in the first place because you proposed to this woman or you accepted a proposal from her. Either way, if you were that concerned about it and you wanted children, maybe you should have Googled that before you made that commitment, like, and done some research instead of, bringing it up in a time where she is vulnerable and upset. Now, if I suspected that she killed my cat, whether it's demons or not, that would probably be a deal breaker for me, I think.
It'd just
I'd
be
be a little worried.
so
Like
shocking.
out
Be
of
like, you've
character.
you've done nothing to hurt an animal before. Why?
Yeah.
What is this about? And just watching someone slit their throat in front of you, does it make you want to take it out on cats?
No.
And your own cat? Like, at least go
Yeah,
and
that's
target
true.
somebody else's.
Or like a squirrel. I don't know. Not that I have
Oh,
anything against squirrels, but they're just
yeah.
random.
They, on the predator prey list, they're lower on that
Yeah.
chain,
Yeah,
on
for
that
sure.
ladder. So the next day, she is able to find the crime report of the guy that killed himself originally in front of Laura. The dude with the
With
hammer I
the
was talking about
hammer.
earlier.
Ugh.
Yeah. So Gabriel Munoz is his name, and
Hmm.
she goes to visit his widow, who I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was in Scrubs.
Oh yeah. She's been in a few things, I think.
Yeah. So she goes and pretends to be a reporter, wanting to learn a little bit more. And good on her for going to the Munoz house because he's got like a whole conspiracy room,
Hmm.
with the whole conspiracy board and the articles and the shit all together. A bunch of sketches of some fucked up demon monster situation. And this is where she learns this goes back further. At least, we find out a lot further. Um, that Gabriel Munoz, before he killed himself with a hammer in front of Laura, witnessed somebody kill themselves in front of him.
Hmm.
And then a few days later, does the same shit. Then a few days later, Laura's done the same thing. And then now we're like a few days after, and fucking Rose is like, oh shit. This timing is not looking really good for me right now, and maybe a little
Uh-huh.
less time than I thought. Um, she drops her cover, being like, "Oh my God, all this shit's happening to me. Please help me." Did he say anything else?
Yeah.
And of course, the widow's just like, "Okay, you can get the fuck out of my house now." Like,
Yeah.
no, thank you.
I actually
But
was surprised and thrown off by her reaction because I would have thought that I wouldn't have even let someone in my house if it was
yeah,
that fresh because she thinks she's a reporter.
yeah,
And so this whole scene, other than the knowledge that Rose learns, is actually one of my least favorite parts of this movie. I really don't enjoy any of it. I do enjoy that little flash of his face, though.
yeah.
His fucked up face.
Oh yeah, that's a good shot.
Hmm.
So she's like, "All right, who do I know that can get me more of this information?" Mm, this is why you keep. This is why you keep your cop ex-boyfriend at least close enough
Yeah.
distance, right?
Yeah. Just
So
keep it friendly.
keep it friendly so he'll still do you favors, right?
Hmm.
But you never have to actually follow through with anything. But she wants to learn more about Gabriel Munoz. He begrudgingly agrees because he's like, ah, fuck,
Yeah.
still got a thing for you. Maybe this
Yeah.
is my shot. I don't know. I don't know what the
Yeah, he's
fuck's
like, maybe
going
if I
through his
show you
head.
some really graphic crime scene photos, something will
Yeah.
change.
They find that the woman who killed herself in front of Gabriel, her name was Angela Powell, who also killed herself in a very colorful way in front of him. They look further and find footage of her witnessing some dude fucking, I don't know, does he set himself on fire? No, what
No,
does he
he
do?
takes he
It's the
takes
gas station thing.
gardening shears out of a
Yeah.
truck that is right across the way. And what it looks like he does, because you're seeing the backside of him, it looks
Hmm.
like he takes them and just like cuts his own neck because you just
Yeah.
see blood just
Spurt.
splatter, which is really fun. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Good way to show us like what happened with security cam footage.
And then they also see that he has a big ass fucking smile on his face before he's
Hmm.
doing that. So we've put together essentially this person smiles a bunch, or this demon makes people smile a bunch, makes them kill themselves. Once you've witnessed that person kill themselves, that's kind of how you inherit it, and
Hmm.
then you pass it on. So it's like, yeah, it's like a little It Follows. It's like a little what's the word? What's the one with Ethan Hawke when he moves from house to house? Demon follows them.
Sinister.
Sinister, that's the one.
Hmm.
So always some sort of spooky chain situation,
Hmm.
you know?
Where you're just real fucked.
Yeah,
The
or you're
Ring
just
even has a similar situation.
right. Oh yeah, of course, The Ring. Um, yeah, how many spooky chain
I
movies have
know.
we
I'm like,
covered?
does
Because I
Final
think we've done all of
Destination
those.
count? Like,
Sure.
it's a chain. You're
Uh,
trying to find a solution to break the pattern.
so she prints out these crime scene photos. Kyle Gallner's like, if you're gonna do this right, do this right. Let me give you a nice folder that says police on it,
Yeah,
and
let me give
you
you a
know,
little manila folder and some
let's make
paper
it
clips.
official. Oh, paper clips. It's got the decal and everything on
Yeah,
it. It's
it's
real
real.
official.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like he could show her things on the computer, but that is a huge mistake, giving someone actual printed evidence who is not part of your police department.
I'm sure that's probably somewhere in the bylaws,
Yeah.
but
Clearly he's got big feelings for her.
yeah. So she heads home only to find Trevor and her fucking therapist, which I'm like, hold on.
Are
You
you
both
allowed
should
to do
not be
this?
fucking talking. Are you allowed to do
Yes,
this?
that's what I was thinking. I mean, technically, she can't say anything that Rose has been telling her, but Trevor can intercept and talk to the therapist. I'm pretty sure that there's no rules against that.
Yeah, but I think that therapists should be like, earmuffs. Like, no, 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 I don't
Mhm.
want to hear this. Like, you
But
know,
he could have angled it as I think she may be a danger to herself or others, especially after what happened to Sweet Sweet Mustache.
right. So she's a mandated reporter. So that's where it kind of falls a
Hmm.
little bit into that. She says fuck you to the both of them
I
and
love
just
it.
fucking bails. Yeah, she's like,
With their
don't.
police folder.
Yeah, with her police folder ready to
Dead
go.
bodies.
Yeah. So she's like, fuck y'all. And, but then she goes to her sister thinking that like she'll believe her for some reason. Maybe just the connection to like through their mother. But I mean, this is only like a day or two ago where you brought a
Hmm.
dead cat in a box to my child's birthday party. Like, don't get me wrong, her sister sucks, but I'd be like, we need to have a little bit of space between us just for now, just
Well,
to be healthy.
I think what's interesting about Rose and this scene is a good, I mean, there's a few scenes where it's a like good representation of Rose. So this I actually didn't notice until the third watch of this movie. So it's another thing that actually kind of bothers me about this movie because I feel like maybe it's me. Maybe it's just me being airheaded that I didn't like catch this. But something that's interesting about Rose, I think in that interaction with Trevor and the therapist, she had decided that she was done with Trevor in that moment. Like that engagement is off,
Good for her.
which is why she went to her sister because Rose didn't have any friends. She didn't have time for friends. All she does is work. So she went to her sister out of desperation because she's like, who else can I go to? The problem with Rose is she's so caught up in her own issues and her own trauma that she's not even thinking about her nephew or her sister and the ruckus that was caused because she's so convinced, like, I didn't do this and you need to know that and you have to believe me, even though logically she still was a part of a really traumatic incident that had to do with her son. Now, all that being said, Rose apologizes anytime she expresses true emotion or feelings and doesn't have therapist mode on. She apologizes. So when she's arguing with um, Trevor, when she raises her voice, she keeps saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry." And every time she smiles, it's a fake smile or it's a therapist smile. It's not a smile with teeth. It's very rehearsed. I don't think she actually smiles with teeth the entire. movie. So I think that's very interesting about Rose. But I do believe that the reason why she went to her sister is it was like a desperate, you're the last person that I have that's not Joel, who is, possibly still a romantic interest. So we don't want to look too crazy in front of him. I get it, girl. But like she, she got information from him to try to prove to her sister that she's not crazy because she doesn't want her sister to think that she's like her mom. So I think that's what she's attempting to do, but she does a really shitty job.
Yeah, because the sister is like, you're exactly like mom right now.
Yeah. She's like, I'm
Um,
having flashbacks.
and look what happened to her. So,
Mhm. Not
and
good.
she's just ultimately just not having it. Rose is like, okay, fine, fuck off, I'm gone. See you later.
Yeah.
Um, Joel calls and he's like, yeah, you spooked me a little bit, and it seems that you may be onto something. And I've
Hmm.
been digging a little deeper and finding out that this shit goes back like at least, even just a real quick Google search, this goes back at least 20 people.
Hmm. Hmm. See, that's supportive. He was
That is
like, what
supportive.
you're saying is crazy, but I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, like, in just take a little bit of time to show some sort of care in your partner's
Mhm.
hobbies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to go
Look
above
up
and
some crime
beyond.
scene photos, you know?
Yeah, just so you see, and it's very appreciated. So like when he says, yeah, this shit goes back deep, that's probably the first bit of relief she's found where she's like, "Oh, thank God somebody is
Yeah.
fucking on my side here and is like
Hmm.
actually bringing something to the table. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I'm I'm not going to get back with you yet, well, at all, but I appreciate you.
We don't get that far.
Um, So he's found out that this has at least gone back 20 people, sometimes in different countries. So who knows,
Hmm.
like, how this is spread.
Yeah.
But he says that every single person has fucking killed themselves except for one. This dude named Robert Tapley. And I think
Yeah.
we gotta
Shout
go
out to
fuck.
him for surviving.
Yeah, shout out to him. And I think we gotta go fucking find him.
Hmm.
Don't you think? He doesn't suggest that for roses. She's like,
Oh, yeah. I would do the same. I'd be like, we're going to find this guy. Absolutely.
yeah. Conveniently, he's at a prison that's within driving distance.
Yeah.
Or at least a half day at most driving
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
And like I said, you've got a cop ex-boyfriend who also lets you, into jails, I guess.
Hmm.
So she's able to visit him and asks, you know, what the fuck are you experiencing? She poses not like a reporter this time, but like as like a therapist.
Hmm.
Um, which I mean she is, but just not like
Yeah.
this kind of therapist,
Doing
right?
doing a what did he say, a profile on, or a psychological profile for the police.
Right.
That's how they angle it.
So she's like, "What? Like, I get that you killed somebody. I don't really care about that. That's fine. You
Yeah.
know,
We don't care about that.
fuck that person.
We love crime scene photos, so you're just adding to that collage.
Yeah. But out of curiosity, the days leading up to this, what's going on, dude?
Yeah, what
What's
inspired
going
you?
on? Did you see any weird shit? Anyone just, some upside down frowns coming your way? What's going on? And he explained that he was finding this pattern
Hmm.
of people killing themselves and realized that the only way to not become possessed and kill yourself is to pass it on to somebody else through another means. Someone needs to watch someone die a very
Hmm.
colorful, horrific death.
Which is a
But it
bummer
doesn't,
because then you have a witness.
yeah, but it doesn't
Hmm.
have to be you killing yourself. If you find someone that you want to kill and kill that person in front of somebody else, same, different means, same end,
Yep.
and but you also end up, in prison for murdering somebody, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
Downside.
I wonder if someone was able to like watch her kill. I don't know if it works specifically with just humans, but if someone had managed, like if a squirrel had managed to witness her murdering Mustache, would the squirrel get the smile demon? You
We're
know,
really just going hard on squirrels in this
I know
episode.
you brought it up.
I
So,
know.
but that's the only way to pass it on. Otherwise, you'll get possessed. It'll make you kill yourself, not even just in some like nice, peaceful, you know, take some pills and go to sleep kind of situation. Like, no, you need to do it in like a real fucked up, gruesome way
Hmm.
because it's got to really fuck somebody up,
Yeah, he makes that
who's
very
on the
clear.
receiving end. So once she reveals that she has it, of course, he's like,
Accidentally. She doesn't do it on purpose.
right, right. And he's like, I just told you everything I did to rid myself of this fucking thing, and you bring it right back to
Ooh.
me. What the fuck?
Oh, he was losing it. Because if she were to be possessed in that moment by that fucking smile demon, he'd have it right back.
Yeah. Which I don't know. At that point, if I knew it was coming, I'd be like, just close. I don't know. Can you just close your eyes? Can you not watch?
I know. I wonder if you're more susceptible to it if you've already had it like haunting your mind before,
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
So,
I think by the time someone's killing themselves in front of you and it's smiling at you, it seems like they're almost like hypnotized.
mm,
Like Rose like had every opportunity to try to like cover her face, like which I think like people would do like in a, stressful
yeah.
situation, but she she does not. So I'm assuming that there's just something that compels you, I guess.
So the guard at the jail is like, oh, Jesus, see, this is why I don't let fucking people do this. Oh my God, we got to stop this. Shut it down. Shut it down. Everyone get the
Hmm.
fuck out. Let's end this. Um, and she heads home. Her therapist visits again, apologizing for ambushing her, which I think is a nice thing to say.
Hmm.
Um, However, though, it doesn't matter because that is not the real therapist because she gets a phone call from her therapist at the same time being
Love
like,
it.
"Hey, just wanted to follow up to see how you're doing." I don't think the real therapist apologized for ambushing her in the
No,
phone call.
no.
It was the fake therapist. So even the real therapist like is like, "Oh no, no, no. I'm not sorry about that. Sorry." So it's just this fucking demon taunting her, acting like
Yeah.
it's her therapist, even though the taunting demon who's smiling at her was the only one that apologized. So
I
who's
mean, it is
worse?
still in Rose's mind, so maybe Rose has some control over like how she would hope that that person would approach her so that the demon can make it convincing.
Right. Um, so seemingly out of options, she's like, well, I'm gonna grab this butcher knife. This really nice, fancy butcher knife,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm just gonna head to work and I'm gonna go check in on my patient Carl. Poor Carl, if you
Oh.
remember him. Um, this all ends up being a false alarm and a dream, but
Mm-hmm.
again, I felt really bad for him when, yeah, fucking Cal Penn shows up. It's like, what are you doing? I thought I told you, you had the week off. It's only been like a day. Maybe if you came back tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, 2 days is good enough,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but you need to go home. And then also she's holding a knife, right?
Well, she
So
has it, yeah, it's like sitting on her seat.
right. Or no, it
Yeah.
was sitting on a seat, but then she puts it like up her sleeve, goes, checks in, goes to work, gets past all the security, goes up
Oh,
to
yeah.
Carl's thing. And then that's when she starts stabbing the shit out of Carl. Um, I thought it was pretty brutal watching the slow, like, knife in and out of him.
Mm-hmm. And he's smiling.
So this, like I said, this is a dream because she like comes to, she's still at work. She's actually at work, just in the
Yeah,
parking lot
she made
still
it.
with the knife. Cal Penn knocks on her window being like, "What are you doing here?" Also sees the knife and being like, "What are you doing here? I'm gonna call somebody. Are you good?" And then she just peels off and leaves.
Which is smart
So which is smart.
for her.
I would have come up with some other reason there was a knife on the seat or tried to talk
Or
myself
like
out of it first.
I was taking cooking classes with my time off and, what do you carry a knife in? I don't know.
It's not like it's covered in blood or anything, it's just a fucking
Yeah.
knife sitting on a fucking seat,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a
Whatever.
super clean knife.
Don't
Don't
look
make
in my fucking
assumptions.
car. That's my
Yeah.
personal property, buddy. Get
Hmm.
the fuck out. So either way, she peels out. he does the right thing and calls the police and says like,
Mm-hmm.
"Hey, there's a woman who seems to not be in the best mental state, and she has a weapon. Maybe check on her if you don't mind." So she's like, "Okay, well, I'm not going to kill one of my patients, but I do have an idea." Joel calls. He says, "What the fuck? Cops are looking for you." And she
Mm-hmm.
explains that, I mean, the idea is she's like, well, if I'm alone and no one can witness whatever the fuck's going on, then it doesn't pass, right? Like she could theoretically stop the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I would think this would only work if she still killed herself.
There's a lot of things wrong with this plan because
Yeah. She's like, I'm just going to face it. And I'm like, what does that mean? What are you going
the,
to do?
it's like, no, Rose, because number one, it's haunting your brain. So it's with you all the time. It's going to be with you. How long could you stand? Because maybe those people only lasted 4 to 7 days because the moment was convenient. They were in a weakened state. You know, the demon took advantage of them and then killed them in front of someone else. But I would just assume that even if you pass day 7, it's still going to keep attacking you. So this is like a fucking Final Destination situation where you're going to hold up in a cabin for how long? What's the point of being alive if you're just, she brought no food. She brought nothing with her. So what is the plan? She doesn't even have one. So this is a stupid plan. That's a stupid idea. I have a better plan. Do you want to hear my
Ooh,
plan?
yes, I do.
This is what I would try. I thought a lot about this because I have definitely strong self-preservation skills. So, this is what I would do. I would go with the plan of murdering someone in front of someone else. I would try to find bad people if I could, but it wouldn't be necessary in a pinch if you're running out of time. Okay. So this is what you do. You take these people hostage. You probably need a firearm. You're going to take these people hostage. You're going to kill one of them brutally in front of the other one, and you're going to keep the one locked up for at least 3.5 days. Okay. Because 4 days is the earliest that this demon took over. The reason why you're doing this is because they can't report the murder yet. Okay. Now, follow me here. You have to let them go at some point because you don't want them to kill themselves in front of you. So now you let them go, and they're already fucking probably in not a great mental state because this smile demon has been haunting them for 3.5 days. So by the time they even try to report you murdering someone, they're sounding cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Who's going to believe them? And then, boom, they're going to kill themselves in front of someone else, and we just pass it along. I'm not worried about who it is. I don't care what their circumstances are.
It's just not you.
I'm safe. It's just not me.
I
That's my
guess,
plan. That's not a
I
bad
guess,
plan, right?
no, no. I think if you're
Better
already
than Rose's plan.
committing to kill somebody,
Hmm.
you kill somebody in front of somebody and then just
Hmm.
kill that other person.
But I don't think it would work that way.
Why not?
I mean, I guess we don't know that.
If you kill some random person, if you have
Hmm.
it, right, and you kill
Uh-huh.
some person and have someone else witness it,
Uh-huh.
then the person who witnessed it now has it, right?
Correct.
So then just put a gun, just kill that person. And they're like, okay, done. Now you can't pass this on to anybody else.
Hmm.
If you're gonna kill one person, just kill two people.
That's not, that's actually a really good idea because there's nothing that says that that wouldn't work. There's no reason why
Yeah.
that wouldn't work.
Yeah.
What I like about this versus It Follows is that if the next person dies, it doesn't come back to you. So
Yeah.
that's cool. You can actually like
Your
you
hands are
could get
clean.
past it. Yeah.
You're good. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, whereas it follows sucks because then you're just like, oh man,
You got to
if
rely on a
that
bunch of idiots making
yeah.
it.
So it's like Final Destination. It's a matter of when, right?
Uh-huh.
Not if.
Hmm.
So So she does not have this idea. Her idea, like I said, just isn't really fully formed. It's like, oh, I'm just going to be alone. I'm going to face it.
In the
And
scariest place she can think of,
yeah, she goes to,
where her trauma lives.
so not only the scariest place you can think of is just dilapidated, like farmhouse where her mother died. That's, you know, everything's just like grown over. Like it's just a real shitty situation. But if you can think of all of the places she could be, like say if I was the police trying to follow her,
Mhm.
uh, well,
Childhood
okay.
home. You still own
She's
this house. We know that.
yeah, she owns two properties. We have this house and
Hmm.
then we have the other house. So let's go check those two first. It literally would be in the first two places I would check because we
Yeah.
know she left work. That's the place she's at the most, and she left work. So, okay, what other two
Hmm.
places are left? I don't know why it takes everybody so long to get there.
Yeah.
And then even then, it's only Kyle Gallner who's like, oh,
Uh,
or maybe she tells him, or he puts two and two
no,
together. I
he
forget.
puts it together, but I just a sidebar too, earlier at the dinner in the beginning of the movie, the sister mentions selling this house. And
Hmm.
so you just assume that this is a house that's like worth something. Like, how much does this girl think she's gonna get for that house?
Well, I think that's why the brother-in-law was like, we sell the land.
Oh, he does say that?
Yeah.
Smart. Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, what are we doing?
Because, like, what? This is like in Jersey?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I was thinking, like, if this was out here, like, on the West Coast, in Seattle or San Diego, I'm like, you'd still probably get 3/4 million at least.
I don't think you would for that land and that house in Jersey.
Yeah. In
Mm.
San Diego, yes, you would.
Oh, for sure.
100%. Just the value of the land on its own.
Hmm.
Um, so she gets a flashback of her mother's death, and we get this final reveal about what actually happened, where, the mom certainly was experiencing a lot of mental health issues. The mother does attempt to kill herself,
Hmm.
realizes she's made a mistake, and calls out to Rose, saying, like, Rose, honey, I made a mistake. Can you help me?
Hmm.
And Rose just fucking, and the mom's just calling from the bedroom
Yeah.
and doesn't know that Rose is like standing right outside the door in the hallway. And Rose, as a child,
Hmm.
so, grain of salt, um,
I mean, she's
just
looking,
waits.
what, 12 or 13?
Yeah. 10 to 13, somewhere around that
Hmm.
age, but she does nothing. And
I'm
that,
I'm
go ahead.
presuming that the mom was also abusing those pills because she has bottles and bottles of pills on the desk and they're like poured over every
Yeah.
which way. It makes it look like she was maybe struggling with her mental health, but also abusing some of her prescriptions in one way or another.
Yeah. A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So Rose has allegedly, been carrying this guilt all of her life that she
Hmm.
could have done something. Even like the demon version of the mom is just like, you could have called for help. You could have done anything, but no, you
Hmm.
just left me to die. And Rose, again, I'm like, I don't know. She was a child. I'm not really gonna I don't think she needs to carry this weight. And I would
Yeah.
hope that maybe if her therapist were any good, which doesn't seem like she is, would be like, this isn't your fault. You were suffering from this whole traumatic
Hmm.
situation and
I'm assuming the
this
therapist
emotional
doesn't know that she
abuse.
left her for dead. They only know that they say that she found her dead. That's what she tells
Hmm.
everyone.
Oh, so nobody knows this
So
except
no
for
one
her
knows
then.
that except for her. But one of the things about this that complicates things, I don't know that Rose needed to have that guilt. I think the only reason why it makes it relevant is why she would be such a hardworking therapist because she feels like the need to help people to not become like her mother was. But it complicates why the demon would possess her because clearly there's a link. They make it very clear that Laura um, had seen her grandfather die when she was younger. They also make a point to tell you that Gabriel, the professor that hammered himself to death, he had a brother who died in a car accident 30 years ago or something. And the wife, the widow, says that he never got over that. So clearly, this demon
Feeds
thrives in a
on, yeah.
mind that already has existing trauma and then adds to that trauma by killing someone or like having someone kill themselves in front of them. So this extra layer of Rose having guilt of leaving her mother to die feels weird and unnecessary. I feel like it could have just would be just as haunting if she discovered her mom dead and she was like, "Damn, if I would have went in there 5 minutes sooner, maybe I could have saved her." And gone with the timing of things rather than giving her this guilt. I didn't understand the reasoning behind that. It's one of the things that has bothered me about this movie for since the first watch.
The demon takes a couple forms here. One of like the
Ugh.
mom, and then like a very tall version of the mom, which like looked okay-ish.
No, absolutely
I don't
fucking
know.
stupid. I the design of this creature, I
The
need a
final
moment.
design?
Not whatever you want to call it. This specific design where it's her mother and it's taller and
Yeah.
it has this interesting face. I There's something about it, and this was one of the reasons why I was like, "Oh, I remember my first watch of this movie. I was like, this is really interesting. This is really good." I never needed to see the smile monster. I didn't need to see what it looked like. I think it could have just been invisible, even. I don't know.
Mhm.
I never needed to see it. I don't like any of the creature designs throughout of this creature.
So when
And
it
this
unzips itself and you get like the actual monster with like the shit ton of teeth and all of that.
conceptually, I like it. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I remember looking into this because I didn't like the creature design. So either I look up how they did it because I hate it or I love it. For this one, I hated it. So I was like, is this CGI? Because it looks like shitty CGI. But I think what they did was use practical effects and then layered it with shitty CGI. And there's just something about it that really just rubbed me the wrong way. It made it less scary for me. Like I didn't as soon as I saw this mother figure, I was like, "Oh, this movie's not scary anymore." And I like checked out. So, do you like the design of the smile monster after I just
Not particularly. I was just curious what you thought because yeah, when you have a reveal like that, it's just kind of like,
yeah,
that's it, huh? It's like seeing, yeah, I don't know. You see a little too
because
much, and
so much of it is kind of left to the imagination and it's also wearing the faces of others and that is so scary in itself just having it smile. It could have just even been her mother smiling, just her regular mom. I think that would have been scarier than this creature.
so I didn't even know this was an option. But her plan was like, oh, I'm just gonna light this fucker on fire, which she does, and then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, yeah, problem solved.
Yeah.
Easy. Cool.
It,
And you know what? Burns down my mother's house, so you get a
yeah.
little bit of that resolution
Fire
too
cleansing.
anyway. Yeah, you're like, hey, new day, new me, new Rose.
Hmm.
Let's go get him. Let's get back to work, you know?
Yeah.
But let's stop by and talk to Joel first. She goes by she thinks she's got it all taken care of. She goes to Joel's
Yeah.
place.
How
Yeah,
naive.
I know. And she's like, hey, sorry to drag you into this. And then also starts kind of I thought this was unnecessary. Kind of starts just talking just generally about like, oh, it's just my issues with relationships. It's not you, it's me, and because of like my trauma, I can't get close to people and
Hmm.
all the things, which I'm like,
We don't need to hear this at this late in the movie.
yeah, it's like, oh, you could get close to Trevor, or I tried
Hmm.
to. But yeah, so she's like, hey, one more favor though. Can I just take a nap? Is that cool? Can I just
Hmm.
take a nap on this couch? and you just watch me, like no funny business, but just be cool,
Hmm.
you know. And he's like, yeah, of course. Anything, babe. Got you. And then but Natalie,
Guess what?
he starts smiling. He starts laughing.
Hmm.
Uh-oh, she's still at the fucking house. It never burned down. She didn't set anything on fire.
Hmm.
She like steps out of the like Joel's apartment or whatever and then ends up outside her house.
Hmm.
So she's like, I'm still fucking in this fucking thing. This thing's
Yeah.
fucking with me, making me think I
Which
set it on fire.
which is a great fake out. I think like the first watch, I remember I was like, okay, that's a fun fake out. But the movie's not over when the monster's been dead for 2 minutes and you're still watching, you're still following Rose. So we know it's
Yeah.
not over. But also, how fucking pompous of Rose. This is another reason why I fucking hate her character. Sorry I didn't come in so hot earlier, but I don't like Rose as a protagonist at all.
Uh-huh.
How pompous of her to think that all you have to do is be like, no, this is my mind and I have control over it. Like it's fucking Freddy. Like, but nobody else thought to do that, Rose. Nobody else tried it. You think a lantern is gonna save the day?
Yeah.
He said 19 people. 19 people couldn't figure that out, but Rose, you're so smart and you're just so she's just got it. She's got that something extra, that spark. No, that so ridiculous. So Rose, kick rocks. Like I'm glad she doesn't make it out of this movie. Spoiler.
So the real Joel arrives to this house.
Hmm.
Um, and he runs up, the door's locked. He's trying to pound through. He eventually kicks down the door, but
Hmm.
it's too late, Natalie.
Hmm.
Um, she's standing there, and the smile demon's like, you know what? That lantern fire situation, that wasn't a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
And to be honest, like we're way past my 4 days, or maybe on the dot, I forget. He's just like, I got things to do.
Yeah.
Um,
This guy's right here.
Yeah, I got some shit on my TiVo'd, so I need to get back to that. So we need to wrap this up real quick. This movie's even the monsters like this movie's too long. We need to wrap this
Yeah.
up right now. And Joel walks in to witness Rose set herself on fire, killing
Mhm.
herself, then passing it on to him.
Mhm.
Credits. Movie's
And
over.
you can see the reflection of Rose burning herself or like burning to death in Joel's eyes, which is really fun. If you look really closely, I tried to see if you could tell if she was smiling, but it's hard to tell because she's on fire. What did you think of the demon crawling into her mouth, like stretching out her jaw?
Oh, I mean, like, you know, I can take it or leave it.
Yeah, again, I
Or it
think
has to
anything that
insert
has to
itself
do,
that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's strange, but I do like Sosie Bacon's smile. Her creepy smile is pretty fun.
That's the end of our movie, Natalie. Did I forget anything?
I don't think so.
Left a smile on your face, I hope at least.
Always.
Ayo, because the movie's called Smile.
I get it.
Um,
Thank you.
as we're wrapping up, I would love to hear some taglines.
Okay. This movie has four taglines.
Okay.
Okay.
Smiling already?
Do you know any of them? Since this is a more recent one?
Um, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's because none of them are really that great. The first one, which I've seen the least, is What Makes You Smile?
Okay. Spooky movies.
Phil Spike. The next one is The New Face of Fear.
Okay.
Yeah. Pass It On.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah.
That one's kind of fun. And then probably the most prominent one that I've seen on the movie posters is Once You See It, It's Too Late,
Mm,
which
that's
is
also
true.
also pretty true. I mean,
Yeah.
unless, well, yeah, I mean, it's too late. You've got it, but so what you
Yeah.
do with it, you got to figure it out. But
Yeah. I think I like Pass It On. I like that one. Because
yeah, I
they
think so
say
too.
smiles are contagious, you know?
Yeah.
Hmm.
That's how I've just thought about that right now. Because it's a whole thing. It passes it on. Natalie.
Crack the case.
Ayo. Wow. What a movie.
That's your taglines.
All right. I'll go first with the booze score.
Okay.
Um, I mean, I think this is perfectly enjoyable. I think, I will always be more open for an original story,
Mm-hmm.
right? That has its own lore, sets its own stakes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think the acting's generally pretty good,
I think
Um,
so.
I think the side characters get more to do than Sosie Bacon does.
She's pretty much just sad and scared the whole time, which is a bummer because I think she does play it well, but yeah, she didn't get a lot to do.
And it's funny and like I mentioned this earlier. Everything else, I'm like, I don't know. I think I could have been happy to see like it escalate a little more. Like, how much more fucked up can this get?
Mm-hmm. I would
Because
have liked to see more flashbacks of the other suicides too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, or like a situation with what's the creep, where they have creep 2 and then the creep tapes, where it's
Yeah.
like all like the former ones,
Ooh, that could be
doing something
fun.
something like
Mm-hmm.
that would be really fun, like real
Mm-hmm.
short, like 30 to 40 minute like vignettes of each of the past ones,
Yeah.
especially the ones where they said like, they said they like found like a string of it happening like out in like Brazil or something,
Mm-hmm.
but like I'd love to change that up. I
Yeah.
won't spoil
I
anything
agree.
about Smile 2,
Please
but
don't.
I do think that the sequel expands and, takes some
Mm-hmm.
bigger swings and I think
We
hits some,
we already spoiled that part. We are fans of
yeah.
Smile 2 versus Smile.
Um, hmm. Yeah, I think this is perfectly fine. I like it. I would certainly recommend it to somebody.
Yeah,
If
I
it
agree.
was on in a hotel room, I would leave it on. I am just gonna, I feel like lately I've just been doing this, but I'm just gonna just jump right down the middle and give it 3 boos.
Oh, okay.
How
Right
about
down
you?
the middle of five is 2.5, but that's fine.
Sure. Well, okay. Yeah, yeah, technically it is. But on like what do you call that scale? Not like a Richter scale.
That's for earthquakes.
That's for earthquakes, you know. But you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the number right in the middle is 3. So you know what I mean.
Hmm. Okay.
How about you?
Okay. I enjoyed this movie more on my second and third watch than I did on the first watch. I think it has some really fun scares. Probably some of my more favorite scares of the past 5 years or so. So I definitely give it credit for that.
Ooh, that one where she leaves her sisters and gets in the car, and then the sisters walking up.
Yes.
You totally know it's coming in the second watch, but
But it
still,
gets
it's
you.
it's effective. It's fun. Yeah,
Yes, the first time I saw that, it did give me a little bit of chills. It did.
yeah.
Because I wasn't sure what to expect the first time, but I think it has some fun scares. It has a fun premise, and the monster or demon or whatever you want to call it, I think the lore is really fun. Although if I was the creator of It Follows, I would be like, you're kind of biting off my idea here a little bit, but it's okay.
You're the it, and you're following me and copying.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a
Something
mouthful.
we didn't mention is the score. The music or sounds, whatever you want to call it, they are melodic sounds in their own way, is interesting and it's scary. I think it does a good job of making you feel uncomfortable. I remember when I watched it the third time, I had my headphones on, so I got a lot more of the music because I couldn't hear anything else, and I really enjoyed it. Kyle Gallner gives it at least one boo because that little two-piece goatee, because his goatee doesn't connect. I don't know if it's because he can't grow it
Is it,
or
do you
that's just a
call
choice.
it? still a goatee if it has to connect for it to be a goatee.
For the
It's a mustache
purpose
and a soul patch.
for the purpose of my fantasies, we're calling it a goatee.
Okay.
So there's that. Now, the things that I don't like about this movie, it is too long for the level of interest that I had in it and the level of interest that I had in this protagonist. Movies can be long if they are Scream. Like, then it's
Yeah.
fine. You can keep making them longer, and I'm cool with it. But this movie is too long and gets a little bit boring every now and then when there's downtime. Rose is just not a compelling character for me. I don't enjoy her very much. That being said, I would recommend this to other people, but my main reason for recommending it to other people is because I think it really sets the stage. Ooh, that works well for Smile too. For Smile too, I think it really it's while you don't have to watch this movie to understand Smile 2, I think it's important that you do watch it to make Smile 2 even better. So that's why I would recommend this movie to other people. And I do think it's a solid movie. I would leave it on in a hotel room if it was on, because, like I said, I like the scares. I was stuck in between 2.5 and 3 boos. And I think what's going to push me back to 2.5 boos is the creature design. I didn't write down anything about the creature design, but I verbally, when we started talking, I realized how much it bothers me and what a downer it is that there's so much that freaks me out in this movie. And then I see that creature and I'm like, what the fuck is that stupid, silly looking thing? I get that it's a smile monster. So how else was it supposed to look? But
Right.
that did bother me. So I'm gonna give it 2.5 boos.
Okay.
Mhm.
Close enough.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dang. Natalie, anything else you want to say about Smile 2?
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, y'all just turn those frowns upside down. And if you manage people, just fucking make them take a day off.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on, Calpen. If you had more supportive bosses and universal health care and you keep your cats indoors, a lot of this movie could have been avoided. So uh, look, I don't want to preach rules, but I'm just saying if you want to live a healthier, longer than 4 day life, try it out. That's all I
Hmm.
got.
And you know what? It is October. Maybe just see how the people in your life react to you just being still and just smiling at them creepily. That could be fun.
Yeah, try it out.
Just try it out. See if you can freak anybody out.
All right, everybody. Take care. Three, two, one, ghost.
Thanks for listening to 321 Ghost. If you enjoyed this episode, you could subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321 Ghost Pod and give us a follow. We would love to hear from you in the comments. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321 Ghost Pod to see our boo scores on all of the movies we've covered so far. Thanks again for listening, and remember to reach out with any recommendations of movies you'd like to hear us cover. 3, 2, 1, Ghost.